knows? Hey, there we go. How's it going, guys? Look at me, I'm all weird and all zoomy because I'm playing with a gimbal. I can't show you a picture of the gimbal. But yeah, thank you all so much for supporting me to be able to buy this gimbal. Yes, guys, it is the Patreon Q&A for whatever the last month was. So what are we in now? So it's November. It's now November. My God. Christmas next month, motherfucker. So this would be September? I think it's September's. So yes, I apologise. I do apologise for being late with this one, guys. I've got I've only got 4 questions from my patrons to answer, which I will be doing in a moment. But there is a reason I'm going to make this one private. It's not going to be a regular thing. I'm going to bring them back to being public. But at the moment, everything is so crazy. Because as you can you see everything? There's a lot of boxes. Ooh, boxes everywhere, and even over this side. I'll have to try and work my gimbal, so if I push that, it goes down. Yeah, look, we're boxing up all of this stuff. It's all a bit crazy because we're getting ready to move, and we will be moving hopefully soon. It's been taking so bloody long, so long. Yeah, basically I feel like I've not given the patrons enough recently, and I even missed out a video last week. As obviously I put a video out once a week, but I did say, you know, in the lead up to the moving, it will be like that. And that's basically what it is. You see this t-shirt I'm wearing? This is one of 5 t-shirts I have now because I've boxed up all of my clothes. It's crazy. Right, anyway. So, there was a reason I've gone private with this, other than the fact I want to give you guys something exclusive. But also, I've been offered to have someone put their content onto my channel. And I adore this channel. Absolutely adore this channel. It's not like the way me and Larry work or used to work, where I would put my videos on his channel and you would see it twice. These videos are no longer available online. I'll go into it, and at the end of this Q&A, you will be able to see the video, as in the first episode. If you guys, and I just want to say for the record, the guy who's giving this to me, he will not see this video. So you can be as brutally honest to me as you like. You're not going to be offending anyone. It's only going to be for my eyes and ears. And obviously amongst yourselves, it'd be great if we can get a little bit of conversation going. So yes, there you go. But we'll get into that a little bit more, why we're going to do that in a moment. Let me answer some questions. Because so far all I've done is ramble for 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Right. Like I said, I've only had 4 questions, so it's not too bad. The first question comes from Sly Fox Ninja. And, ooh, if I go around that way. It's just a big blurry white mess, isn't it? Never mind. So, Sly Fox Ninja says, what are some of your favourite channels that aren't gaming related? I'm personally a fan of the internet comment etiquette with Eric and Explosion. That sounds good. Actually, that's the sort of thing I'm very interested in. I love channels like Wang. Obviously, he was a voice in one of my later videos. You know, like those weird internet history videos. Sort of similar to what, you know, that Bob's Game video I just did. People that cover that sort of stuff. There was one recently that's doing the rounds. Probably still doing the rounds actually, about the history of that Coney story that went around. I love anything to do with Disney. In fact, tonight, whilst we were doing a lot of boxing up over there, we were watching a channel called Rob Plays, which is someone that I will hopefully one day collaborate with, and he talks about very obscure history pieces about Disney theme parks, like where did all their water pollution go and all that sort of stuff. It's very bizarre. But I love that. Obviously things like Defunctland. My son, being 3 years old, loves the junk food channel that is the Slow-Mo Guys. Although sometimes they swear a bit, so I probably shouldn't let my 3-year-old son watch that. Yeah, so Slow-Mo Guys. And what else? Tasty, you know, that like overly obvious food channel. You know, we always watch that and work on cool things to cook. I think they're the big ones that I can think of right now. Yeah, I think that's probably, there's some good examples for you, but primarily most of the stuff I watch is gaming related. You know, I always watch what Kim and Larry and Nostalgia and crazy amounts of American YouTubers, people like Game Dave. I always watch what they put out. But yeah, non-gaming related, they're the ones I'm watching the most, probably. Oh, and actually, Another Disney one I like watching is a channel called Disney Dan, and what he does the evolution of Disney characters within theme parks, and it's really good because most of the time they look really good now, most of the time, but if you look back at what the characters looked like when they originally started in the parks, they're like gruesomely scary, and it shows you what they look like all the way up to now. So it's really good. If you look up what Mickey Mouse looked like Mickey and Minnie looked like when they first opened up a Disney theme park, it's horrifically scary. They've got all these massive slices in the bottom of their nose, because obviously that's the eye line of underneath Mickey Mouse's nose, and it just looks like literally a horror movie where it's been slit open. It's disgusting. But yeah, there's some good channels for you, and thank you, Sly Fox Ninja. Tim Labonte, I always like saying that name. Tim Labonte asks, as a musician, far from musician, but as a musician, I laughed when Guitar Hero and Rock Band came out, but still have loads of fun with them. As a DJ, how do you feel when DJ Hero came out? Have you ever played it? Yes, I have. I was a big fan of... I always move around when I'm talking. I was a big fan of DJ Hero. I played it a lot, and annoyingly I spilt a drink and one of the buttons got stuck down. It was really annoying. But I've got a brand new, I've never opened actually, Guitar Hero 2 upstairs. I was thinking one day maybe doing a video on that, but it's always worrying because it's all full of licensed music, and how are you going to do a video about a game full of licensed music without getting copyrighted? So I would like to, and also I'm actually in contact with a couple of the DJs that made music for it, so it'd be quite good to get their opinions now. Why did it fail? Asking the DJs that put music into it, because I think it's a pretty cool little game. If you want an even more extreme version of DJ Hero, I think it's called Crackin' DJ. Let me type that in. I'm sure it's called Crackin' DJ, which is a Sega, obviously. Let's have a look. Crackin' DJ. Yes, it is. So Crackin' DJ, look that up. So it's an arcade game running on the Naomi hardware, which is the same as, well, almost the same as Dreamcast. You know, they work together. But Crackin' DJ is like the extreme version of DJ Hero, to the point where I look at it, I'm like, how is anyone playing this? It's stupid. But there's very few videos on it, and it's yeah, quite unique. It generally looks like a proper DJ setup. It's quite nice. So look that up. But yeah, I liked DJ Hero. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I'm genuinely quite sad that it isn't more popular online as well. Like, I would actually really like a online sort of, you know, like the way Beatmania for the DDR fans have Stepmania, so you can do your own custom tracks on Dance Dance Revolution games. I would love for that to be the case with DJ Hero. Like, I would love that. I would love that. But it's all about mixing and mashing, so I can see why they can't do it, because it would only really work with mashups. But there's 1,000,001 mashups out there, so, and I love using mashups. So yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. It's all about Beat Saber, though, isn't it? With the with the rhythm games. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Right, what's next up? Let's get Crackin' DJ out of the way. Richard Carter, aka Fantastic Dizzy, asks, hello, I hope your mum's wedding went well. Fuck me, it's taken me a long time to do this video. Yes, it went very well. It went very well. And your speech went smoothly. Of course it did. You are an expert. Fucking hell. Cheers, mate. If you could play as any game character, which game would you choose to play in and why? For example, Mario in Sonic 1 with Mario's powers, etc. PS, I think sometimes vlogs and sometimes face-forward camera will be good. Sort of mix up like your DJing. So let me work this. Let me dissect this. Let's have a look. So if you could play any game character, who would you choose to play in and why? So I think what he's asking there is, what game world would I like to play in, and what character would I like to put in from another game in that game world? Let me think. I don't know. At the moment, the only thing I can think of, and I'm not even going retro with this, well, I sort of is half retro, the original Tomb Raider game, but we're playing with Nathan Drake from the newest Uncharted game. So it's like brilliant controls, but in the original Tomb Raider, or any of the original trilogy of Tomb Raider games and stuff. I think that'd be quite good. I don't know. What about the? Oh, let's have a think. Because my mind works technical straight away, so I'm like, Mario ain't going to work in a Sonic world. How's he going to get round the loops? Yeah. I think. What about the not Forbidden Planet? What's that Sonic rip-off game? Future Planet, whatever it's called. Oh, I can't remember what that's called. But yeah, in the Sonic games, I'm going to go with Nathan Drake and Tomb Raider because I can't think of anything that would work. Because obviously games are based around the mechanics of a character. I suppose the obvious thing you could do is put like Streets of Rage characters in like another brawler, like in a Final Fight game or something like that. That actually would be quite cool, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be surprised if it hasn't been already done. Especially the other way around, that you can play every character under the sun in a bloody Streets of Rage game. Apart from Dizzy, maybe that needs to happen. So yeah. put Dizzy in a Zelda game. That'd make me want to play Zelda more. Yeah, let that happen. And also, PS, I think sometimes vlogs and sometimes face forward camera will be good. Sort of mix it up like you're DJing. Yes, so I think I understand what you're saying there as well, Richard. When I go full time, I'm going to have. So this is, like I say, this is my living room. But at the same time, it's my editing space. Yeah, so that's where I edit all my videos, and that is where I sit down and watch TV. So, you know, and that's the TV I watch it on. So yeah, everything's all in one room and it's very, very hard. And yeah, obviously it's going to be, you know, when I've got kids running around and I might try and quickly chuck in like an hour's worth of editing. It ain't going to happen. So when I move, not only would I have a nice place to edit, but I also am going to have a nice place to actually have set up. Eventually, it's not going to be straight away, but eventually where I can actually sit down and be on camera. So I would like to actually be in essentially every single one of my videos, even if it's only for a smart bit where I'm actually just talking to the camera rather than not talking to the camera, you know, having a voiceover. So that'd be cool just to give my channel a bit more of a face. I think that's so important. So yes, I agree. If I'm talking rubbish, whatever, but at least you get an update on what I want to do in the future. So thank you very much, Richard Carter. And finally, are we still recording? 12 minutes in, yes we are. So Jeremy Rodriguez asked, I was just curious as to whether you played Cool Spot and what your take was on it. Cool Spot is like Global Gladiators, but not as bad. And I say that in the nicest way. So I haven't had much time with the Spot Goes to Hollywood, which is like that top-down one. But, I mean, I enjoyed Cool Spot. I love the design of the character. I mean, it is just a circle, but at the same time, I love that because he's so simple, but the world around him so complex. I think that's incredible. I love that. I love that. It screams David Perry, which is obviously who it was made by. The same guy who made Earthworm Jim, Aladdin, stuff like that. But they're far better games. And Global Gladiators. The music is outstandingly good. Tommy Tallarico. It's like that's my favourite era of Tommy Tallarico's music. He's made so much music, but Cool Spot, Global Gladiators, Aladdin, Earthworm Jim 1 and 2, like they are the best. I absolutely adore it. Absolutely adore it. So yeah, I love the design, but with that said, adding all that in makes the game better than it actually should be, because Cool Spot itself isn't the greatest game in the world. It's completely playable, but take away the fact that, you know, like the cool mechanics, the cool design of the characters, the good music, the beautiful graphics, and it's a very average game, almost probably below average, possibly. But like I said, it is still a good game from as a whole package. I mean, like, look at Jet Set Radio. That's another example. Jet Set Radio is not the best inline skater game going. It's essentially a 3D platformer with slippery controls. Almost like every level is an ice level, but everything about it makes it the ultimate package that it is, and I think Cool Spot is sort of on that level. I generally quite enjoy it, but I like the whole feeling of Cool Spot more. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. I hope that answers. And I don't have much to say about Spot Goes to Hollywood because I don't really know much about that game. But when I eventually do the Cool Spot Complete History, because it will happen one day, I'll know everything about it. Oh, one thing I do know about Cool Spot, I think if you go back and look at my, I want to say the first McDonald's video I did, I actually told one of the guys that worked on the Mick and Mac games on the Game Boy Advance, he never knew this, that when it was actually brought over to the, I want to say America no, it wouldn't be America, to the UK, it was a Cool Spot game. He didn't even know that himself. I mean, how fucking awesome is that? So yeah, God, my eyes are baggy. It's because I'm really tired at the moment. So yes, there are my 4 questions. So before I get into this and guys show you this video that I want to do from another channel and get your guys' opinion on it, let me talk a little bit about the future. Everything you see, this will be the final time I do a video in this house, and I've said that now for the last 2 or 3 Patreon videos, which is fucking absurd. It shows you how long this thing has taken. I'm sure people like Andrew and everyone over in the Discord chat, and you guys should be in the Discord if you're not in there, are probably wound up with me going, when I go full time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, because it's pissing me off that I keep saying it. But I have so many plans for Slopes Game Room, and it's a really hard time for me right now, because in actual fact, I'm actually having to hold back. Oh, flash! My gimbal started flashing colours. Hope that doesn't mean I'm going to run out of battery, or time, whatever, data, storage. I have so many plans to go forward with the channel, and essentially what I want to do is, I'm putting out 1 big video a week. I want that to become almost 2 videos a week, so I can start focusing on more obscure complete histories. Like I want to do the complete history of, I wanted to do for this year's Halloween, I wanted to do obviously House of the Dead, which I almost got done. It was a little bit late. But I wanted to do things like 3D Monster Maze, the complete history. That's a very obscure one, but I think it's a cool thing to do over the Halloween period. I want to look at things like, obviously, like I said, Dizzy. I want to do Dizzy, the complete history. I want to do things that I know are going to be a little bit obscure for my channel, but I do think people that watch it, people are commenting on a video, people that watch my channel will get a big kick out of it. So that's what I want to do. So that's the future. And right now it's hard because I'm actually having to put less content out, even though I want to put double from what I normally do. So it's very, very hard for me right now. And I really do appreciate everyone that's sticking around. And I know not everyone is sticking around, because I lost a lot of patrons last month, and I think that's probably what it is. Or maybe it's coming up to Christmas. Who knows? Anyway. So what's coming up on the channel? This is another reason why I wanted to do this, so I can talk to you guys personally and give you guys a little insight into some random stuff. I can't give you a date on any of this, except for the fact that Zombies Revenge. I missed out Zombies Revenge on the House of the Dead complete history, and that will be coming up. So yeah, there'll be a Zombies Revenge video. I'm going to make myself look a bit of fool out of it, like this shouldn't have been a part of the House of the Dead video, and I'll review it and I'll look at it and I'll go, oh yeah, it probably should have been in there, shouldn't it? And egg on my face video, but I think it's important. At least then it'll give me a chance to completely cover that House of the Dead franchise. And also there's a weird, I've discovered since making that there's a House of the Dead like poker game thing in Japan. I need to look into it because I don't know much about it. So that'll be a small video, probably less than a 10-minute video. So that will be coming, and I would say that that's probably going to be my next video. You are going to see me just do a random live stream that will just appear one night, basically when I realise, right, okay, I've got a night free from doing all of this. So, catch up gimbal. A live stream will happen. Now, I am in talks on Tuesday next week. So, what's that? It's a week today. I am in plans on doing a live stream, but it's going to be a Kick Scammer live stream. So that'll be one again I'm doing with Andrew. He helps me co-host the last one, and I think that's probably going to be a thing that we do constantly moving forward if he's available. But what's going to make this one different is the fact that I've got Paul Rose, the guy who done Digitizer, which I'm a part of, as well as Kim, Larry, and Octavius, and Nostalgia, and Gameplay Jenny, and all these other people, and Paul Gannon, that he's going to be involved. But the good thing about that is he's recently, and he's still trying to fulfill his Kickstarter goals. So it'd be quite interesting for people to be able to ask him questions on the struggles of actually creating a Kickstarter. So that'd be quite nice. And also we'll end it on a bit of a live showing of a clip from the show that hasn't been seen, well, hopefully hasn't been seen, so you can get like a live reaction. I don't know if it's going to be a whole episode or just a clip. We'll see, but there'll be something exclusive in that. So any fans of Digitizer, keep an eye out for this Tuesday coming, as in not today, next Tuesday. That's the day we've got penciled in. We'll see if it actually goes ahead. So that's coming up. Now, in regards to other videos from my channel, I haven't got a complete history set in my mind right now. There's a few that I've got half written. As a more obscure one, I want to do California games, but in regards to big ones, I'm not sure. Depending on when I get a bit more time on my hands with YouTube, I do want to start tackling some really big projects, things like Contra. I really want to do Contra. I mean, eventually Castlevania. Some really big ones, and it'll finally give me the time to be able to do that. So we'll see what happens there. But one of the next videos I want to do is a random history. Now it should be a complete history, but because it's so obscure, if I call it Rail Chase the Complete History, no one's going to click on it. So you've got to be clever when you're a YouTuber. What I'm going to have to do is call it something like, I'm going to have to work around this a little bit. It's probably going to be called Rail Chase Sega's Forgotten Roller Coaster. That's a little bit more, ooh, what is this? But it's completely legitimate. It's clickbait because obviously I want people to click the video, but it's completely legitimate. So Rail Chase is a game. It's actually 2 games for the arcade, where it's basically another gun game. You sit there and you shoot the guns, but you sit on this little seat, and the idea is you're sitting in the game. You're in a mine cart running away or towards. Basically, the camera keeps going from that way and it will and go around, and now you're facing that way, and you're just basically shooting these bad guys coming towards you because you're like an Indiana Jones sort of guy and you've taken an artifact, all that sort of stuff. It's a good game. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's obscure and not many people know about it. Hence why I'm not calling it a complete history. But it's got a great story to it because. First, I've got to look into the development of it. I found an interview which I've got to even look at. I've got to get it translated, which is all fine. Typical complete history stuff. Talk about the development if I can, those 2 games. But the interesting thing is the fact that when they created Joyopolis, which is a technically Sega World in Japan, they made a Rail Chase the Ride. They made a proper roller coaster. Oh God, I'm running out of battery. They made a roller coaster. So what I want to do is essentially look at this because it eventually got moved around. It got moved from there and it went over to Sydney, and it went from Sydney from that Sega World, and now it's sitting in a in an Indian theme park. But not many people realise it's related to an actual Sega game. So this is an official Sega roller coaster that not many people know about. So I think that'd be cool. So that's another one that's coming up. I hope I haven't ruined it all for you, which I definitely have. Anyway, I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to be quick now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a video from a YouTuber that I've actually worked with once before he deleted his channel. What the fuck? A guy called iRetroGamer. Now, the reason why this guy is important is not only one, was he a great member of the community, but 2, he has a series, and this is the series he wants to put on my channel, called iRetroLife. Now, iRetroLife is a dedication to his now passed away father. The idea is, before the days of YouTube, obviously, very much based in the mid-90s. I think he's a little bit younger than me, about 30, 35. He's about that mark. His dad was almost getting him to do YouTube with him before YouTube was a thing. So they would review games and they'd go on location to like Epcot in Florida, to the big Sega pavilion thing that they had there. And there's all this exclusive footage. It's so different than anything else on YouTube. Now, obviously he loves his dad and everything else. So it's a big dedication to him, as well as showing you a side of gaming history that literally no other channel was doing to this extent, because it's a diary to his dad, but it's also looking at the 90s so incredibly well, better than anyone else has done. But the crazy thing about it is because he wants to be the great dad that his dad was, he realised that YouTube was consuming him, and YouTube does fucking consume you, that he one day just literally deleted the entire fucking channel. Like, it's all gone. Those videos are literally gone. Now, he has a hardcore fan that managed to actually back up all of these videos. And before we both found out about this, I was begging him to help him get that footage back so we can turn it into a DVD or something like that. It's probably about 25 episodes. They're not long. And he said, now he's got this footage back, would I be interested in putting it on my channel? Now, I want this footage to exist. Do I want it on my channel, though? We'll have to see. I think the videos are fantastic. I'm really worried I'm going to run out of battery. 14%, that's not too bad. I want these videos to exist, but do I want them on my channel? And I'm really in 2 minds. But the thing is, once I start doing this, I can't stop. They will be midweek videos when I start doing them. Perhaps I'll start doing them next year. We'll see. Maybe I'll it will be next year now, I think. And you'll see them once every month, maybe. So they'll last for years, essentially. If he's got, like, I think they're 25 episodes of them. Yeah, what I want to do though is, obviously he's going to do a little video at the beginning, like on camera, explaining what the clips are, because he does that already. You'll see after this. But what I want to do is actually give my opinions on it as well. So he said that I'm allowed to do it. I'm going to basically sit there and I'll explain that, this was great because he did this back in this time. It's really important, blah blah blah, and almost like an opinion thing. I'm in two minds about that, but basically I want your guys' opinion. Like I say, he is not going to see this video, and I hands down, he will not see this video, so there's going to be no love lost. If you don't like it and you think this isn't going to be right for your channel, Dan, all this sort of stuff, obviously if one person says that and everyone else says yes, then I'm just going to go yes, but I want the... Let's get talking. I want to hear you guys' opinion on whether you think this is a good idea. There will be regarding monetization. We'll sort that out afterwards. Me and him will obviously do some kind of split thing regarding blah 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 blah. But in regards to like video game history preservation, which is what I'm all about, I think it's so important for these videos to be on my channel. But it is a very weird thing to put on my channel, considering it's a love letter to another guy's dad, which obviously I've never met. This guy's from America somewhere. So it's a very... I literally am fighting a battle in my own mind on whether I should do this. But once I start doing it, I can't stop. I genuinely can't stop, because you can't just put one video out and then stop that series. You know, I want to continue it. I want to continue this through. There is an ending to it. I want to say, I'm now thinking there's 16 episodes rather than 25, but regardless, there's a lot. And he says that if it proves popular, he would actually be willing to continue it on until it gets to that end, because obviously he's only got so much footage of the stuff that he did with his dad. But anyway, I'll play it now. Please write it below. Like I say, he will not see it. And if you are worried, you know, hey, chuck me a DM on Discord or even Patreon, whatever you want to do. Let me know what you think. I'm very, very interested. And whether you think this is a right fit for my channel. So just to give you guys an insight, there will always be my big videos at the weekend. It's always going to be the case. You're going to start seeing midweek videos, at least one. And if I do an unboxing, there'll be another one in there as well. And obviously if I do Patreon, that'll be another one. So that week there'll be 3 or that blah, 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 blah. This guy, Tyler, iRetroGamer, will be one of those smaller videos I put out in the midweek. So it's never going to take away from my big videos. Ever, ever, ever. But it's just, I mean, it is extra content for midweek stuff for me. And I don't think I'm going to put out more than once a month. Possibly once every 3 weeks or something like that. You'll see, you'll see. It definitely won't be once a week. And pushing it to once a fortnight, I think, is too much as well. So that's my idea. I'm going to give a little bit of an insight at the beginning of the episode. It doesn't go back to his channel because his channel doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, I've rambled enough. Have a look at it. Tell me what you think. And guys, obviously, thank you so much for being patrons and supporting the show and the channel and me during this hard period where I'm in the middle of boxes. I mean, this doesn't look like as much here, but you want to see what it looks like upstairs. It's fucking insane. If my wife wasn't asleep, I'd take you up there and show you. Yeah, this is DJ Slope signing out. Hope you like the video that's about to play. I don't know how to end this. This is very strange. It's very strange. And there you go. Hopefully, I'll see you all next time. Probably from my new house. What the fuck? Crazy, crazy. Bye.
Remember Video Power? Video Power was one of a few TV shows we got in the early 90s focused entirely on the gaming culture of the time. It was shows like this that brought inspiration to this father and son team. Yes, that's me in the left-hand corner of the screen. I was 5 years old and already enthralled with the world of video games. That's my dad. I like to call him the original gamer. He was a 20-something in the late 70s when Atari was a household name. Together, we were quite the father-son gaming duo, eating, sleeping, and breathing video game cartridges. The video you see here is a promo video that we made in 1991 called The Genesis Power Team. This was made to convince my family in New York, who still had an 8-bit Nintendo, to buy a 16-bit Sega Genesis. No one outside my family has seen this until now.
Hey, all you out there in New York, we're ready here with Genesis Power. This is Tyler Esposito, the Genesis Power player. Yes, he's won several games, and we're here to introduce you to Genesis Power. Let's tell them about the games, Tyler. First, we have Altered Beast. Yes, Tyler's won this game. He's been, how many animals have you been? He's been all of them. Yes, he's been all of them. And if you think that's good, try Batman for Genesis. Ha 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 ha! The Joker is no joke in this game. And we're gonna preview Spider-Man. Yes, for all you Espositos in New York and Harapapacases. Preview Spider-Man, only available on Genesis. And we're also gonna preview Strider. Strider, once available on any Nintendo, is now on Strider. When you see this game, you won't believe it. This game is incredible. And we're also going to preview Ghostbusters. Yes, the real thing in three-dimensional sound and stereo color and three-dimensional sound. And there's also Last Battle. Be the last fighter left in Last Battle. And we're also going to preview my favorite game, E-SWAT. Yes, it even talks. It says E-SWAT. And Tyler's favorite and everybody's Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. It's even better than the cartoon playing at your local theater. And the sequel to it, which is not as good, Fantasia. Yes, Fantasia. And we're also going to preview the real Dick Tracy, not this stuff that's available for, what's that other system called? Nintendo, yes, this is the real thing, three-dimensional. And Tyler's favorite Robot Kid, Atomic Robot Kid, yes. We're also going to feature Tyler's game that he won twice, 3 times, called DJ Boy, yes. And another one that Tyler won called Shadow Blasters, yes, yes, yes. And I know I did. And also we're going to preview one of the best games ever made for the arcades, Alien Storm. You won't believe what you see in this game. I mean, this blows Nintendo out of the water. And then there's The Secret of Shinobi, one of the best games ever made. And its sequel, Shadow Dancer, Secret of Shinobi. Oh, this is Revenge of Shinobi. Then there's Shadow Dancer, Secret of Shinobi, right? Secret of Shinobi, right? And then, I think we showed them all. Anyway, that's what we're going to preview for you. We'll try to get through some of these games. You're going to see some of the first levels, maybe some of the later levels. I don't know if we have all day to do this for you people, but we're going to show you some of the levels if we can. Mickey Mouse is to die for. You got to see that. And also the Shinobis and Strider and everything else. But don't be disappointed because you're not going to see the complex later levels. You're going to see a lot of the early levels because you don't want us to play all day, do you? Hope you enjoy it. You're watching Genesis, the Power Edge.
But we could do it all day.
Come on.
If you look in the video, I look pretty shy and out of it, but if you look closely, I was soaking it all in. I was taking this in, and I just let my dad steer the ship, and he did an awesome job. And I miss him so much, and it's it's amazing to me what he would think of this channel and how he could participate in it if he were still with us today. So this is very special, and I know he's looking down from above and smiling on the fact that all of you get to now see this. Remember console launches?
New Nintendo! She got me the new Nintendo!
Getting a brand new console when you were a kid was sort of like making a new best friend. You may have only just met, but you knew there were many years of memories to be made. At this point in my retro life, I was 10 years old. It was July of 1996. Sega and Sony had already released their next-gen consoles, and everyone was waiting to see what the Big N would do. Even though the Nintendo 64 was scheduled for release later in September, Dad caught early word of a retail video game store that was importing the Japanese version and renting it out to customers.
If you order it from this magazine, you can get the Nintendo 64. Yeah, there's an 800 number. You can get it right out of Japan.
And that is how true 64-bit power was brought into our living room for the first time.
Oh my goodness. So that's the Nintendo 64. Let me check this thing out. Oh my goodness. It really is. 4 control ports in the front. Memory card slot there. You got the power on this side. Reset on the right. And what's that in it?
Super Mario 64.
A cartridge for Super Mario 64.
That wasn't the only game we rented.
This will never come out in the States. It's a terrible game that could have been done on an 8-bit machine. There is nothing about the graphics on this that warrant anything. It's a simple chess game that's not 3D, it's flat. It's just unbelievable. This is the Pilot Wings, as you can see the Japanese lettering on it. Here's the incredible control pad. And it says Nintendo on it. You can get these in a variety of colors once the unit comes out. Underneath is a thing here where you can put in memory chips or something, memory cards or some kind of adapter. There's a button at the bottom that actually makes Mario crouch. When you hold this, you literally have to hold it like this to be able to use that bottom button, because if you hold it on this side and just use your thumb over it, the button's too far away, at least for me. It's a little clumsy, the control pad. You got to get used to it. It's a little different.
Different is an understatement. It was unlike anything we'd ever seen or played, and with it, Mario could run around in a 3-dimensional space. He could do flips, he could run around in circles.
He runs and huffs and puffs and slides and jumps. The game is very quick, as you will see, very fast, fun. It goes on and on and on. And this young man has been playing it. He'll tell you a little bit about it.
Uh-oh. Okay. What are you going to say, kid?
It's great. You have to collect stars in each of the levels, but each of the levels has a guardian, and once you beat that guardian and you find 1 star, then you go to another part of the level and find all different stars in the one level, and then you can open different doors and go to next levels.
Whew. Okay, we made it through that.
Well, Tyler's going to keep playing. Put it in, baby. Get that thing cranked up again. Very light machine, little. Notice Tyler actually using the controller. See how he has to hold his hand there? And here's some of the game. Look at the little guy run. You can constantly change the angles on it. And you can have close to Mario, his perspective, far away. You can spin it around any angle you want. So you can get a completely different feel for the game from these different angles. Tyler's on his way to a secret guy we're going to show you. Right, Tyler?
Secret guy? Who could he possibly mean?
Oh, just this little guy over here. Spin him, baby. Now notice what Tyler's doing? He's spinning the controller faster and faster. Look at that. Look at that guy. Look at that. Oh, now you got to get him into these spikes. That's what gets him. Come on, baby. Yeah, Tyler, you can do it. Come on, baby. Faster, faster. Keep that circular motion. That's it. Faster, faster. That Bowser's something.
The launch of the Nintendo 64 with Mario 64 was something that went beyond better graphics or more bits. There was something about the growth, the change in gaming, that reflected not only on myself, but our entire generation. Mario was growing up, and so were we, right there beside him.
Hey, Nintendo, I want to say something to you. Welcome to the next level, Nintendo.
Yeah!
And that's Maggie and her baby. She programmed this game. She invented the design, the 3D and everything. And she's actually inspecting this one. She inspects each one before it goes in the box.